Hello, good evening. What's up? What's up, everybody? Let me make sure I'm streaming live, and then I'm gonna start Instagram. Share it out. Oh, yes. Okay. So make sure it's live. Okay, it's live. All right, so good. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday evening? All right, all right, all right. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Out there in the online space land. Hi, how y'all doing? All right, so let me just share this out right quick. 1 second, y'all. Where am I sharing? I want to share it to my group. Just a couple of groups that I typically share to. All right, and I put it in my own group too. Okay. So, good evening, good evening. I know I don't have it titled. I got everything set up initially, and next thing you know, my camera wouldn't connect. So I said, okay. So I had to hurry up and start another session, and I wasn't able to put the title and everything up there. So I'll go back in and do it. All right. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Jacqueline Kabah Harrison, and I am a confidence and success coach. I work specifically with African American women that are coaches and or consultants. I help them to show up boldly, consistently, and with intention in their business, allowing them to increase their productivity and last but not least, their profitability, right, in their business, in their coaching or their consulting business. And more specifically, how I do that is I work with women specifically around helping them to eliminate, eradicate, by appropriately or properly, effectively, that's a better word, by effectively addressing all of that negative self-talk that we have going on in our heads and all of that self-sabotaging behaviors, right, that we do that prevent us from taking our business to the next level. Okay, so that's more specifically. And you have joined me now for Evening Motivation with Jackie, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream live, and I typically talk about, you know, sometimes I may share an experience of mine in terms of, you know, just how I got to where I am today, or sometimes I share my why, and or I may provide useful tips to help you stay motivated, to increase your stamina, to increase your accountability, as well as increase your self-confidence. Okay. So now tonight's topic, like I said, I'm going to go back and add it, but I'm wondering if I should put it. Tonight's topic is actually, do you know how to keep yourself motivated? That's tonight's topic. And I'm wondering if I should add it up here on the screen. You know what? Maybe I will. Let me just stick it in here. Do you know how to keep yourself motivated? So while I'm typing this, just think about that for a minute. Do you know how to keep yourself motivated? Now, of course, this is important because whether you have a coaching or consulting business or you're an entrepreneur, this is important overall when it comes to achieving a particular goal, right? Because if you don't know how to keep yourself motivated, then what's going to happen? You're going to start and stop, right? And it's going to be a reciprocal process. And you're going to find yourself feeling like a little hamster spinning on the wheel, right? You're doing all this spinning and not going nowhere, not making no progress, right? So it's extremely important, like I said, when it comes to goal achievement overall. Now I'm going to gear it towards women that have coaching or consulting businesses, but the principles are the same. You can, carry that in any facet or over into any area of your life. Like I said, when it has to do with personal and or professional development. So why is it extremely important to understand what motivates you or how you're motivated? Right now, of course, that's important to know, because if you don't know, and everybody is different, but if you haven't really taken the time to explore or really figure that out, then you are probably, like a lot of other people, going to struggle with that, going to struggle with how the heck to stay motivated. Now, I'm pretty sure we're all aware of instances such as everybody makes New Year's resolutions, right? Everybody makes these New Year's resolutions every year. And how many of us actually stick to these New Year's resolutions, right? We make them, we create them, but are we actually sticking with them? Are we actually achieving our goals? Are we making any progress towards our goals? That's the question. Because I know a lot of people start off, let's say the beginning of the year, everybody, or a lot of people, I'll say that much, because this is a very typical one. A lot of people have a New Year's resolution that they want to eat better, they want to lose weight, they want to work out, so on and so forth, right? Now, of course, I'm getting a text while I'm doing this. Normally, no one texts me. So they start off with all of these good resolutions, right? Different things that they know that they want to do, a lot of positive things. However, as you start off real good, and as time goes on, right, you end up kind of falling off track. Somehow you end up, just becoming inconsistent. And it starts off little by little. A lot of times it's not always a crash and burn situation, right? But the thing of it is, you start off and you may be going good. You say you're going to work out, I don't know, 3 days a week. And maybe you start out maybe for a couple of weeks, 2, 3, maybe even a month. And you're going really good. You're working out, you're 3 days a week, and you're feeling good. It's incorporated into your schedule, and you're just doing it, right? You're making it happen. As time goes on, other things begin to come up, like, oh, I'm tired. I don't really feel like going. Or I don't feel well today, or I just had a really stressful day at work. So I don't really feel like going to the gym. I don't really feel like doing my workout. Or whether you go to the gym or not, I don't feel like getting on my elliptical. Maybe you do something at home, right? And then the next thing you know, you find yourself, instead of going 3 days, now you're going 2 days. Next thing you know, you find yourself only going 1 day, right? And then the next thing you know, you're not going no days, right? So, like I said, this could be applied to many different areas of one's life, right? So the key to that, or what I have learned, the key to that is really figuring out what motivates you. Okay, now, first and foremost, what I want to say in reference to that is one way of really trying to figure that out is to think about, I always have my clients go back and journal, right? I have them journal about and write down specific instances that they have achieved particular goals, right? And the particular goals that I like for them to examine and take a look at is goals that didn't happen overnight, right? It wasn't a fast process. And the reason I say that is because goals that it's easier to achieve a goal when you start it maybe and finish it in 1 day. Sometimes it's easier to keep up motivation for shorter periods of time, right? It's easier to keep up motivation for shorter periods of time. However, When you move into longer periods of time, that's when it becomes a little more challenging. So I would definitely suggest, even if you haven't necessarily, I don't know, achieved, I think most of us probably have, even if you haven't achieved, oh, I didn't even see you. Hey, cousin, how you doing? Even if you haven't achieved a long-term goal, you know, there's some goal that you work towards that you achieved it. So the first step is to actually take a look, write down those different accomplishments, right? What are those accomplishments? What have you achieved? And a lot of times we say to ourselves, oh, I haven't achieved anything. But if you think about it, you have, right? And this may not all come to you in one sitting, right? It may not all come to you at one time, but I want you to be diligent with it about pulling out that notepad or that journal and actually jotting down instances in the past. Oh, hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping back and forth between Instagram and Facebook. So there's instances in the past where you have achieved a particular goal or goals, and I want you to write down and take note of the different, basically how you kept yourself motivated, right? When you studied, did you, I don't know, did you listen to music when you studied? Let's say you were in school. And again, that kind of jumped out at me because I know that was a period in my life over a long span of time. I had to keep myself motivated. You know, I had to say to myself, how do I get it? How do I stay motivated? How do I keep an interest in this? So again, sit down and journal or just write out. Doesn't have to be a big production. Write out, make a mental note or make a mental note, shall I say, of what you did to keep yourself motivated, or even pay attention, like in present day, over the course of the last month, what type of goal have you worked towards? And how did you stay motivated? What did you find helped you stay motivated? Now, some people get motivated by when they link up with other people. I know you guys have heard people talk about like an accountability partner. A lot of people, when they start working out, they'll have a partner, and both people, like one, both of them check on each other, right? It's like an accountability partner. So think about, but what I want you to do is I want you to write down those times where you had an accountability partner, but also I want you to look towards some more internal things as well. And I say that because, let me tell you why, is because an accountability partner can be, well, it's external. It's an external form of actually, motivating yourself. And the thing of it is, you might start out with someone and they may not want to do it anymore. They may decide they just gave up or don't want to be bothered, or maybe just don't want to be your accountability partner. I don't know, whatever the case is. Of course, you can always pay somebody to be your accountability partner, right? But you may not always have the funds to do that, or you may not want to do that. You might be using funds towards something else, right? So, hang on, y'all. But you can't get in the camera like that, though, okay, buddy? Remember, okay? So make sure. Okay. So, so I want you to look towards more internal things. Some people, like I'll give you some examples. Like sometimes I get motivated when I maybe I give myself like rewards along the way. Like let's say if I'm in school, right? And I have to, I don't know, prepare for a test, let's just say, and it's going to be on 4 chapters. And I say to myself, okay, let's say I gave myself 3 days to study, right? That ain't likely. Usually it was a cram situation at the last minute, but let's just say I did. Let's go with that. Okay. And, so let's just say, so the first night, maybe I said I was going to get through 1.5 chapters. Once I got through that 1.5 chapters, I would reward myself. Let's say, even if it was watching, I don't know, maybe one of my 30-minute sitcoms that I really enjoy, right? Just throwing something out there. That was a reward for me. And that was taking it step by step. Maybe another day it might have been, I don't know, for me to have some ice cream. just throwing some different things out there, like very small, small rewards, nothing major, but rewards nonetheless, right? So I found that worked for me, to give myself like to celebrate, to celebrate what I've done, right? No matter how big or how small. Secondly, to reward myself along the way. So that is one strategy that I've used, right? So I'll say it again. It is to reward myself along the way and to celebrate my accomplishments, right? So not only did I read this 1.5 chapters, I'm thrilled, I'm patting myself on the back. Yeah, I still got more to go, but I met my goal for that night, right? So I read that 1.5 chapters. So celebrating my progress and rewarding myself. So that was one tool and or technique, if you will, that I utilize to help get myself motivated. So like I said, I want you to kind of move away from the accountability piece. Again, that's great. And I think you should have that. I think you should have a lot of different avenues or a lot of different ways to help keep yourself motivated. I think that's just smart and it's just good practice. But I don't want the accountability, or I wouldn't want the accountability partner to be that by itself. Because like I said, anything can happen. That other person could end up, sick, and just can't do it. And I don't want your progress to be hindered because you no longer have that accountability partner, right? So just something to think about. So that's one particular suggestion in terms of how to keep yourself motivated. Well, actually, it's really two, because it's rewarding yourself and it's celebrating your progress along the way. Because when you celebrate your progress along the way, remember how good that's going to make you feel. That's going to make you feel more motivated, because you're going to be like, dang, I did it. Ooh, I stuck to what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to read this 1.5 chapters tonight, and I did it. I stuck to my word, and that will help keep you motivated, right? So that when you get ready to do it the next day or in a couple of nights, whenever, you'll be like, dang, I did it before, so I can do it again. And you'll be proud of yourself. You'll be, happy, like I did, I did what I said I was going to do, right? I kept my word to myself. That's really what it is. I kept my word to myself. So those are two ways in order to be able to help keep yourself motivated. And so those are two specific ways. And I originally started off by saying, make like journal, right? Make some notations and take some notes on times in the past that you have felt motivated, or you were able to get motivated. Or even if you started a project and you didn't finish, you didn't follow it through, you got unmotivated at some point. Focus on, in the beginning, when you first started, what motivated you, right? Because the goal of that is you can take that and modify it, switch it up a little bit, and reapply it. Modify it and reapply it. You get what I'm saying? So if this motivated, like if I had a big project come, let's say if I ever decided to go back to school, okay? I don't think that's going to happen. But if I did, I know that it would take a lot of motivation for me to do that. So I would sit down and think about, when I was going through school, what type of techniques and tools did I utilize to keep me motivated, right? Well, I hope looks like my connection is kind of going in and out. But what type of techniques and tools did I use that kept me motivated throughout that process? Because Lord knows it was a process, right? So those are three tips that I have given you this evening in order to help you stay motivated. Again, a lot of times we start out strong, and somewhere in the middle of it, we just kind of, I don't know, we just kind of lose it for whatever the reason, right? So, and I have more tips, but let's make this part one. Okay, so this is part one of how to stay motivated, basically. So what I want you to do, and again, remember, this can be applied personal goals as well as professional goals. Now, obviously, I work specifically with coaches and consultants, but again, these principles can be applied to other goals, whether they be personal or professional. So the first one is to actually journal or jot down, write down, however you choose to do it, instances in the past where you have achieved a particular goal. And yeah, where you have achieved a particular goal, and or when you started out doing something in the very beginning and you were really motivated. I want you to take note of what those circumstances were. What was the physical surroundings? What was going on emotionally? What type of thoughts did you have? And again, this may not all come back to you from one sitting, but if you think about it, maybe you may have to put it down and come back to it. But really think about it and jot it down. Write it down as it comes to you. Write it down. Even if, because I always say, like, carry a little notebook. I normally carry a little notebook in my purse, because when I get different ideas, right, I like to jot them down, because I may forget by the time I get home and be like, oh, okay, what was that idea? Dang, I don't remember, right? So write it down.